Hey everyone, this is Paul with 360 Stocks, and I am going to be showing you some very interesting charts today. We are going to be looking at the Nasdaq 100 index. We're going to look at the TQQQ, the SQQQ. Let's get started. So first we're going to look at the Nasdaq, and on this Nasdaq 100 chart, we have some interesting trends that we're looking at. So one of them is this green band, which is the 8 and the 20 moving average. When the 8 is above the 20, this area is green. And this band right here is the 50-month moving average, and this is the 200-month moving average. So we have the 8-month moving average, the 20-month moving average, the 50-month moving average, and the 200-month moving average for the Nasdaq 100 right here. And we can see that oftentimes when prices got close to this 50-month moving average, prices bounced and then went significantly higher. And we've seen that on a couple of occasions. And we see that back in this little time frame back here where prices dipped down and then went higher. And some of these dips back in 2008 made it all the way down to the 200-month moving average before they moved higher. And here again, there was a pretty significant dip below the 200-month moving average. That was in 2008. This was in 2002. So let's move forward into where we are today. Where we are today is prices of the Nasdaq are below the 8. They're below the 20. And they are sitting right on this 50-month moving average, which is when the 50-month moving average is above the 200, this will be blue. So let's look into a weekly chart. Now we're diving into a weekly chart of the Nasdaq, and we see that back here in January, the prices of the Nasdaq index fell below the 8 and 20. The 8 and 20 turned red band here. And then we've dipped into this blue band with prices, and we see a bounce here on the 200-week moving average. Each candle represents 1 week. And so this blue line represents 200 weeks of average prices. And this bounced off the 200-week moving average, went all the way up to the 50-week moving average before it reversed and dropped now below the 200-week moving average. And in the last week, we saw prices pivot higher and try to climb back into this area. Very interesting situation we have here. So now we are looking at a daily chart, and we have this 20-day moving average, and we have a 8-day moving average and a 20-day moving average here with a green. And now we've added as an overlay this 50-day moving average and this 200-day moving average. And we see that all of these are red. What does that mean? That means the 200 is above the 50-day moving average and the 20 is above the 8-day moving average. However, prices did test this low down here, and they have moved higher several days in a row. So what is in store for the Nasdaq? Is this going to be a significant bottom reversal, or is this going to continue to trend lower? I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this. By the way, if you like the content of this video, please give it a thumbs up. It would be much appreciated. So let's go into looking at a traded fund that replicates the Nasdaq, and it replicates it with an amplified 3 times. This is the TQQQ, and it is the most traded fund in the stock market as measured by average daily volume of a 3-month period. And so what do? So they have, this is the TQQQ, it's called the Ultra Pro QQQ, and its top holdings are Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, etc. Okay, so we have that that is the top funds, and so we now have a little bit of information about this TQQQ. So here is the TQQQ on the monthly charts. Here is the TQQQ on the weekly charts. We see it is going down, but it's had this nice weekly bounce right here that we just finished on the week. And here is a daily chart of TQQQ, and you can see that on a day-to-day basis, these prices reflect very similarly the prices that we were looking for the Nasdaq. However, when I say price, what I'm saying is the pattern is very similar. TQQQ is amplified 3 times of the percentage of the Nasdaq roughly. So now I've added in these bands to show how the 50 week moving average lays with the 200-week moving average here and the Nasdaq. And we see that the 50-week moving average of TQQQ is still above the 200 here, and that prices of the 20 are above the 8. So here is the current trend, weekly trend represented for the Nasdaq. And then we can also look into the daily chart of the TQQQ, and we see that the 200 on the daily is 200 days, is above the 50 days, and the 20 is above the 8. We had several days here where prices have been trending a little bit higher from this low. Now, we can do the same thing over here on SQQQ. So we have the SQQQ monthly chart. What we see has been in the past trending lower. And then we have a weekly chart of SQQQ, and then a daily chart of SQQQ. So we can then go into adding into our charts. With the daily chart, we're going to add in the 50 and the 200. So here is 200 days, and here is 50 days, and we see that this has been, in general, trending in sort of this band of prices since April. So here we have April lows, and here we have July, June, and we just tested that. Prices tried to break above this June high. They failed. They retreated. So is this going to be the start of a longer-term trend? We don't know. By the way, none of this is advice. I'm not recommending either one of these traded funds. I am simply providing some entertainment value here. Hopefully you enjoyed it and will subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to receive these messages on notification after you hit subscribe, then you click the notification bell right here, and you will be notified instantly when these videos are prepared. So with that, I want to thank you for watching and see you next time.